Welcome back to the BlastCast, everyone. Your look into everything that's Baltimore Blast soccer. As always, I am your host, Brad Crossley, and with me today is our Bermudian head coach, David Bascombe. Coach, welcome.
Pleasure to be here, always.
Is that a word, or did I make that up?
Which one, Bermudian?
Is Bermudian a real word?
Yeah, it's Bermudian, yeah.
It's a real
Yes,
word.
I'm Bermudian.
I wasn't sure if I just made that up, or if
even if you did, I would not, Brad, I would not say you, no matter what you do is right. It's Bermudian.
I don't know about that. So, Coach, welcome as always. We're going to be discussing a new signing here in just a minute, right? But speaking of Bermudian, I wanted to tell a quick story to everyone, right?
Yeah.
So, earlier this year, I'm in Bermuda, right? I like to go. Bermuda is one of my favorite places,
yep.
right? Earlier this year, I'm in Bermuda, and I'm wearing a Blast jersey. And I'm walking around Hamilton, right? Downtown Hamilton, which is a beautiful area. I love it down there. A lot of restaurants, a lot of shops, all that stuff. And I'm wearing my Blast jersey, and I hear, Blast! And I'm like, what the heck?
See, I would have jumped.
And again, hey, Baltimore Blast. And I was like, what? I turn around, and this just incredibly nice gentleman comes up to me, and he goes, I saw your Baltimore Blast jersey. You know, how are you feeling? You know, so I kind of told him the story, and he said, well, I kind of throw it to you. That was your uncle, right?
Yes, my Uncle Kim, yep.
That was your uncle?
Yes, uncle.
Super nice guy. Like I said, just randomly in Bermuda, someone came up to me, recognized a Blast jersey. We had a great conversation, right? Again, couldn't be nicer. And as soon as we left that conversation, I got on the phone with you, and I was like, hey, do you know this guy? It was just funny, right? So even in Bermuda, right? Obviously,
I'm shocked he trying to get you to go to a bar or something, right? I am shocked.
He did actually. He invited me to a bar. Yes,
that's how that's your welcome, right?
Yeah.
And when you accept it, it's game over. You're not going back to the boat. That's it. It's very Bermuda's a small place, 62,000 people, and football, as we call it there, soccer here, is very popular. And just with everything I've been doing in the community, it's been awesome. So no, that's good, and I'm glad that glad you got to experience that.
Yeah,
but great. You go a lot though. You seem to enjoy Bermuda.
And it's one of my all-time favorite places to go. It's beautiful. The people are so nice there. It's just great. It's just great. And I always make it a point to at least have some Blast gear on.
Well, I could tell you. Listen, I'll tell you which is cool, because we when I was playing in Harrisburg, it was 1990-91. And every year I run a pro soccer clinic in Bermuda. And you're talking about some hilarious stories. Now, we had about 300-400 kids at the camp, and we would bring down 5 to 6 coaches around the league. Mark Pulisic, Danny Kelly, all these guys. Now, here was the interesting part. They knew that I was looking for coaches, and they means the players around the league. So when I go play like Kansas City, right, or the Defenders, I said, listen, you want to go to Bermuda? Don't be kicking me today. And it was crazy. So we was able to kind of and all through the league, said, Bascom, listen, definitely want to go to Bermuda. Could you hook me up? I said, listen, I'll hook you up. Just work with me today. So it was cool. So now it's been 25 years guys were coming on. So it does have a great relationship and understanding of the game. So it's cool.
That's cool. Like I said, I always, it's one of my favorite places. So one last thing before we get off on the Bermuda train here and start talking about some players. If someone's in Bermuda, I know you love food, you love cooking.
Yeah.
What do they have to get in Bermuda?
They must get first thing, you got to get a fish sandwich. You have to get a fish sandwich, Bermuda fish sandwich. It's special, and you ask for the local fish. Okay, local fish, right? That's number one. The other thing is that we have a traditional cut fish. Yeah. And potato.
Yeah.
So that's our Sunday morning dish. So it's got potato, cut fish. You can have it like with butter sauce. Salted cut.
That's a morning thing.
That's right, morning thing. It's a salted cut. You can have it with buttered sauce and onion. Okay. Or you can have it with like a tomato sauce, and they season it up nice. Yeah. Avocado, banana, and then you have a little drink on the side. Usually not water.
Yeah.
So that's one of our biggest dishes. But I would not let you know. I would not. I can't say this without saying about my father. He makes probably the best fish chowder. That's right. I'm calling you out, Bermuda. That's right. So he has a fish chowder that he makes. And the chowder's different there because they don't do no potato. He makes a no potato, no
Okay.
carrots, nothing like that.
Okay.
So it's pure chowder.
Yeah.
And it's really good. But anything you want to definitely get our traditional breakfast, that cutfish and potato, Sunday morning breakfast.
That's interesting. I would not have.
You ain't had a cutfish and potato?
No. Now,
Okay,
fish sandwich, absolutely.
Fish sandwich is good. Fish sandwich is
Absolutely.
good.
But I wouldn't think that would be like a breakfast thing.
We got to, well, listen, the next time you go, we got to hook this up.
Yeah.
You know what? When I make it again, I'm inviting you at my house.
Okay.
How's that?
That sounds like a plan.
That's right.
Okay. So, enough. Hey, this isn't a video on Bermuda tourism by any means, but I'm telling you, if you haven't been there, it's amazing. One of my favorite places. All right, so let's move forward. So, some really, really exciting times right now, right? A lot of player signings, a lot of news coming out, a lot of information coming out. So, what I wanted to discuss, and that's been getting some buzz around here, right? And that was the introduction and signing of goalkeeper Michael Mejia, right?
Yep.
First off, and we've discussed this in other videos about the challenges of finding players nowadays, right? With all the other entities out there that they have to choose from. Where did you find him, first off? And what attributes have you seen that you think really will help us moving forward?
Yes. So this young man was very interesting, and with the New York connection up in the Connecticut area, when we put it out that we're looking for players, and I partnered with a lot of these groups, North Carolina, New York, Florida, and also in Chicago, name came up. And the name came up of him having a lot of interest to play indoor. So got some videotape. Searched it out, and then I had to make sure, is it a right fit? It's because going to have to learn the indoor game.
Right.
So what I done next is that once I got the video clips, sent it to Phil Saunders, who's our goalkeeper coach.
Right.
And once we went through that, we realized, okay, well, would this be a young man that can help push, challenge, for the number one spot? And that was key. Then we had to go through, done my whole thing, went through social media, went through everything, background, everything, so I could know his integrity for the game.
Right.
Great attitude, very professional, 25 years old. And I know that with Mike Zerhofer, and we have another goalkeeper signing that we're going to be talking about at some point. This very, very good goalkeeper. So it was important that I have these young men to be pushing each other. And I had to be able to forecast on what the possibilities of him being able to be on the field, stepping on the field, and what can he do for us, right? Goalkeepers are such a unique position because the way we play. So I do things based on tactical. You may see a goalkeeper on one time because of what they possess. You may not find the goalkeeper, and those are usually your number one, your great goalkeepers that can actually fit right in and able to do everything you're doing for execution. But we're going to have an awesome, unique situation, and as a coach, tactically, you'll see a goalkeeper in, a goalkeeper out, and different goalkeepers in, and that's what I was striving for.
Right.
Interesting. We went from a goalkeeper searching and looking for goalkeepers to now we got because players want to come here now because the way the process is running. We even have an M2 combine coming up. We got 9 goalkeepers coming in. So with the other goalkeeper signing that we're going to show, I'm really excited about where we are going, and it's going to be a great, great competition, for that spot.
Right.
So no, this young man, once I sent it to Phil Saunders, and he gave his review, gave his information back. So we had him come in to the Pro Invitational, and he showed really well. Really, really well. But also his attitude. Both goalkeepers that we signed, great attitude. And now now this is it. Having all this is great, but it's when can you put it on the field? Can you produce?
Right.
And that's the key. And this young man, I'm very excited for him. He calls all the time, very professional, and just has got some experience. Yeah, at 25. So he's not a fresh goalkeeper coming in from having no professional experience. He actually has high level experience.
Right. So obviously played collegiately, playing USL, so does have some experience there. To your point, I was able to catch a day of that pro combine. I got to see him a bit, really impressive. And then to your point, came over to everyone, introduced himself like spot on, like just again very very professional, which I definitely appreciated when I saw him that day. When it comes to goalkeepers, like you said, very specific almost position
Yes.
when it comes to indoor soccer, right?
Yeah.
So you, along with Phil, working with the goalkeepers, when you're trying to acclimate those outdoor goalkeepers to indoor, what are kind of some of the challenges you see with that?
Yeah.
Is it more tactical? Is it more a lot more making sure they're solid, with their feet, obviously?
Yeah. Let's go mental first. When an outdoor goalkeeper ball gets shot on them, once they receive it, they release it. Ball misses the target in an outdoor game, they take a goal kick. So the mental of knowing that you don't get a break indoor.
Right.
The ball's coming off the board. So you always got to be ready. And when a goalkeeper makes a mistake outdoor, they got some time to recover because they got so much space and so much support.
Right.
Indoor, you make a mistake, same thing as as a player, is that your recovery time is that because the ball is coming right back at you. Now you got to go is that, okay, can they handle it? Can this? And that's when I'm looking at the social media. I'm looking at the games they're playing in. Can they handle that? That's first. Now you got the physical play, the reaction time.
Right.
I've been watching. You may think I'm crazy, but I watch a lot of hockey to learn different things from hockey and basketball. So as a keeper, Coach Phil was telling me about this, and is teaching me like the audio language, like case saves and different types of saves. Are they brave? Are they doing certain things? And I'm watching hockey. I'm watching the same little thing in indoor goalkeepers, but also with the futsal goalkeepers.
Sure.
So I'm watching this. Can he control his box? Is he feeling physically enough, fitness wise, or his reaction time? How quick is he? Can he get back off the ground?
Right.
So watching that, and that's why I'm learning as a coach from Phil Saunders, because it's helping me identify. And when I said to him, I sent him all the videos we had on all the goalkeepers. He says, Coach, this is a guy you definitely want to take a look at. He explained everything to me. So we do have this process. So it's but then it all comes to tactical. Okay, learning behavior. Then the first thing I ask my here, all my players who's new, what is your learning curve? What is your learning style? Do you learn based on practical video boards or theory? Once I know that, then that's how I have to make sure that they're receiving the information. And then they go do a test. Oh yes, this year my players are doing a low test, right? They do it. Yes, they're doing an online test. And it's important because it's all about managing the game and the knowledge for the game. I got to fast track my younger players. So that's where it's at. So that's how we don't just sign somebody because I see a video say, awesome, good little player. No, we sign him. It's got to have some depth in it. And then it's about, okay, is he able to work out? Listen, my first year in indoor, I was so terrified, didn't know the boards, didn't understand the boards, and I walked away. Mentally, I walked away. And it was only when Mark Pulisic and these guys came and said, listen, you got to try this again. So I changed my number to number 40. I done some things to have me to really, and I have to shift my focus into saying, no more excuses. I got to go for this. And that's where I started. I am, as a coach, got to make sure that these players understand it as well. You're going to make mistakes. And goalkeepers not easy, man. Goalkeepers are crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys know. Something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Because they take a ball in the face and they just up. And my expectation, no matter what you do, just save the ball. And it's so I have to understand. I went and go one day, thought I was a six attacker when I was playing. And I remember Danny Kelly looking at me. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't even make sense. I was still terrified of the ball. I didn't want nothing. I felt good at a six attacker when the ball was at my feet.
Yeah.
But when they lost the ball and I had to run back and go, Tom was terrified. But I was playing like I knew. I had my hands, palms open. I was playing, but one time that ball got shot. I'm sorry, I just go pick it up. See, I could pick the ball out of the net, but I ain't saving the ball. So no, that's where it's at, and I'm excited for this young man.
Yeah, I think everyone's really looking forward, obviously, to the start of the season, but obviously, again, seeing some of these new guys come in. One thing you touched on that I wasn't actually planning on discussing with you, but I find it very, very interesting. When it comes to, this goes along with teaching as well as coaching, and that is knowing how your players learn,
Yeah.
right? Because it's the same again with teachers and schools and coaches, kind of the same way. Some are visual learners, some
Mm.
are audio learners. Um, is that a process you ask every single player so you can best uh, enhance how they're really going to take in the information?
Yeah, yes, it's important that you ask that. When I look at a player, first off, from the way they're moving, the way they talk, the body posture, all of us carry four different types of personality traits: dominant, influential, steadiness, compliance. That's first. That's the first of connecting. If I'm looking for a player that's looking for aggressiveness, yes, I'll see it in the game, but I also see from the attitude. Yeah. So when I am evaluating these players, I have to know, okay, this young man's got a steadiness, is more steadiness only because he asks his questions, right? Is a good listener. Does mean he can be possibly a good leader. That's
Right.
number one. Then I have to look and say, you know what? Okay, how is he going to learn? Once I know your personality trait, I can probably identify that your learning behavior is going to be root theory and practical.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't ask, and if I get a group of young men that's in there and half of them learn through video boards where they can see behavior, they can relate it through videos and then perform, what happens, and I only do theory, that young man I'm going to miss out on the learning. Then I'm going to get upset at him. How come you didn't know this?
Right.
But I'm giving it to him on paper. But that's how they function. And if I don't do it, I find myself in my timing for growth for the player is going to take a long time. So that is very crucial that I do that.
It's very, very interesting. Something that not a lot of people really discuss or anything when it comes to coaching players. So I really I love coming in here and talking to you because it's just something deeper than just kicking the ball off the boards.
Yeah, it's important, and it's very important in the sense is that their recovery time, right? In these personality traits, once you get a player that can understand and navigate through all four, those will be the ones that will be the greater leaders because they're able to now cope with dysfunction and be able to self-regulate when things are not going well. Means is that they got a dominant player that only shows the dominant side that's playing against them, they're able to calm because they can bring out the steadiness side. So it's so important. You'll see it in games. You got a dominant ref and a dominant player who don't know how to calm, they're fighting all the time. So it's important I teach that player how to bring the other side to get the better outcome. And as a coach, I have to be able to bring them all out because sometimes I go crazy. I think I was telling somebody the other day, we're winning the game, and I'm sure because when I'm getting knee surgery soon, I'm kicking boards, kicking everything, right? But I had to calm. I have to calm, to make sure is that because you don't get the point across if you're just going, like a madman. So yeah, it's important, and it's important that happens because that does help us, especially when you're building a group of 26 players.
Yeah. Always great information when we're talking to Coach Bascombe here. Everyone, we're really, really excited about the signing of goalkeeper Michael Mejia. So please make sure, if you're not already doing so, make sure you're following us on all our socials. That way you're going to keep up to date with player signings and merch updates, schedule updates, all that great stuff. So really make sure you're following us on all our social. And with that, we will see you in the next episode.